And we're back. Welcome, ladies and gentiles, monkeys and reptiles, boys and girls of the appropriate ages, to Sigil Confidential.
Good evening, everyone.
As always, it's good to see you guys.
Good to be here.
And of course, all of you wonderful cats at home, fantastic to see you as well. I'm just going to get this out of the way real quick. I have asked the almighty AI overlords how best to market Skull Splitter Dice just out of curiosity, and I'm going to share that with you.
Oh no.
Are you ready for this?
I'm bracing myself.
It should be good. Should be good. So, introducing Skull Splitter Dice. Unleash your inner warrior. Are you ready to conquer your tabletop adventures with style and precision? Look no further than Skull Splitter Dice, the ultimate companion for every brave adventurer. Crafted with meticulous attention to detail, Skull Splitter Dice combines stunning design with exceptional quality. Each set is precision engineered from premium materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting performance for all your gaming sessions. Immerse yourself in the thrill of the roll as these magnificent dice come to life in your hands. The sharp edges and bold numbering make them easy to read, while the weight and balance offers satisfying rolls every time. Yeah, that's... I've actually got 3 more paragraphs. I'm going to let it go there before this gets too... Thank you. Exactly. Whew.
I think your native ad reads are a bit better. I don't think the machines are quite up to snuff yet.
Well, yeah, but, a machine technically has never held the joy of the clicky-clack math rocks.
Cannot know the wonders of physicality.
This is true.
But you, at home, can know the wonders of physicality if you purchase at least 2 Skull Splitter dice.
I'd go ahead and get at least 2 sets.
Yeah, that seems safer.
And it's important that you have a lot of dice, because if one rolls poorly, you put the others in a circle around it, and you smash that one into little pieces so that they know what happens when they fail you.
Your Skull Splitter dice, though.
This is true.
Not roll.
Bigger hammer.
Bigger hammer. You're going to have to make a little more space, concrete floor, and a bigger hammer. That is true.
We are also sponsored by, DeWalt. You get yourself a jackhammer, it'll go right away.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, we are back live. I know we were starting to get into some harrowing situations last week, which I will leave to Prim to describe to you in full, glorious detail if she's ready.
Well, of course, Church. Last time on Sigil Confidential. After containing their undead attackers, the crew went deeper into the engineering floor. The first door they approached had a small illuminated green square with the shape of a hand on it off to its side. But as multiple members of the crew tried pressing their hands against it, it would flash red 3 times with the sound of rejection. Eventually, Ratt had to tinker with the internals of the door, and after shutting everything down, they were able to step inside. Saren used the devices inside to look at the health of the Haruspex's internals, and she learned a concerning piece of information. The reactor was going to go hypercritical in 3 days. They began looking for a way off of the engineering floor that didn't involve going back to the undead they walled off and dealing with a broken tube elevator that nearly went into freefall. Everyone turned around to enter the only other room on the floor, which had no locking mechanism this time. As they opened the door, another 3 undead were waiting for them inside. This time, everyone dealt with them head-on, and beyond some psychic damage, they managed to eviscerate their foes relatively unscathed. Inside the room beyond, there were yet more devices, but no means of egress that they could see. The only way to enter and leave the engineering floor that they were aware of was the elevator. Many looked for a hidden ladder or service hatch they could use to leave, but they came up short, except for a strange device stowed away in a compartment. Saren, Ratt, and the ghost, acting as Ratt's translator, all tried to make sense of incredibly complicated schematics of the ship that Saren had pulled up on one of the screens. They weren't able to make heads or tails of it. As it turned out, though, the strange device that Saren called a scrubber was actually a maintenance bot that moved between the layers of the ship through tunnels they created themselves with an advanced AI. Unfortunately, the tunnels were going to be way too small for everyone to squeeze through, and the pathways could be deadly. Jimmy, however, had the idea that if these scrubbers had enough intelligence to create those paths, then maybe they had enough intelligence that he could talk to it. Will the crew find a way out of engineering? Can they make it to the reactor in time before everyone dies in the ensuing explosion? Find out starting right now on Sigil Confidential, the Uncanny Odyssey.
Yes, bravo. Always so good. All right, so yes, we were we're actually just kicking off with the potential conversation, I believe.
We were gonna give it a shot, but I had a thing that I need to do first, right? Because I assume these things don't speak common.
Not much on this ship does, to be totally
It
fair.
doesn't seem to be the thing, the doing thing. So, how far away are the entities we killed? How far did we move? I can't remember right now.
It was pretty far. You talking about the?
That was a ways back.
Yeah.
Were there any corpses nearby? I have a trick, but it requires a corpse.
It requires a corpse. I don't.
Preferably not mine, although theoretically that could work too.
I don't. Well, no, there was one in the other room, if you remember.
Aha.
Remember, you guys had a little welcome party there.
That's right. So, I'll ask Saren first. These little guys, the scrubbers, can they speak? I'm really hoping they can speak.
You asking Saren that?
Yeah.
I've never tried to speak to them.
Huh.
Why would I speak to the scrubbers?
It's good to know your coworkers.
Could we task them with doing something near the reactor to prevent its destruction?
The cleaners?
Yeah, the cleaning robots.
I don't think they're capable of anything quite like that.
Okay.
I don't think
could
we
they
need
get
them
there?
to fix it. We just need them. We
Could
need
they
them to
get
help
us there?
get there. Exactly.
I mean,
Could we follow them if we asked them to go clean there?
I don't. Unsure of this.
If we told the bleeping box on the floor over there on the desk thing with the buttons and the lights, if we use that to tell the machine to go to the reactor and then we followed it, might that be a safe way to get there? A quick and efficient way if we could fit?
You're actually talking about going through the tubes.
Perhaps, yeah.
But you gotta remember, Ratt. they do their own thing, these little guys. They've got like a whole society of little metal guys that have been here for, centuries and centuries and centuries doing their own nonsense. They don't really take orders so much.
Okay, I mean, but it's their destruction too, so...
Exactly, which means we gotta communicate, and we gotta negotiate. And I gotta go talk to a dead guy. I'll be right back.
Alright, good luck with that.
Alright. So, Saren looks confused. This is a little bit weird to her. She barely... Culturally, they barely recognize these things as existing because they've been a part of their existence on the ship for as long as they've been on the ship, which is generations. So that's why she seems a little lost and confused at the notion, and a little spooked at the idea of having to crawl through those tunnels. You wanted to go talk to a dead man.
Yes, and this does require me to explain.
Okay.
When I use my revived feature to connect with the dead, I don't necessarily have to choose a language that dead person knows. I just get to choose a language. The exact phrasing is you learn how to speak, read, and write one language of your choice.
Over the course of that communication.
Exactly. The intent, I guess, is the same as my audience with death feature, where whenever I use my revived powers, my memories and personality get a little confused with basically every nearby spirit.
Okay. So
I just come back with more.
Let me ask a mechanical question, and
Yes.
anybody who wants to can chime in on this. Do we want to start crossing over into our original RPG rules slowly but surely with this?
No.
No.
For this, that's gonna be tough, man.
The reason
Counterpoint. We already. Sorry.
no, the reason I ask is the creature that's in that other room was undead.
Ah.
So if we say Jimmy had taken a level of spiritualist, it could work. But if Jimmy's just using the D&D power, it wouldn't because they're undead.
Yeah. I guess that's true, because what I'm doing is mechanically I am casting the Speak with Dead spell.
Yeah.
I just don't have to use any spell casting for it.
Exactly.
I would do homebrew, like Cairn rules for D&D as appropriate, but I would stick with D&D because I'm not going to fucking like try and mash together spiritualist and musician to make a College of Spirits bard, and it would not be representative of Bryn and what she could do, even though the like Eilidonic horror spect is a thing. It wouldn't play the same way.
What were you gonna say, Master Moose?
Yeah. Counter offer.
Okay.
I think that whether or not we use the original rules for the entire party doesn't exactly bear a ton of weight for everyone as it does for this particular character in this particular situation.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with exactly what you're saying.
The effort to develop the character into something that breathes past the D&D rules and restrictions should allow for a creative license to broaden your horizons more than just are we doing this or are we doing that.
Okay. No, I have no problem. I'm gonna with those 2 points, those 3 points, I should say. I will leave it in your hands, Jimmy. However you want to proceed. If you want to kind of encapsulate a little bit of that spiritualist essence, I'll allow it. But if you want to stick to raw, then it wouldn't work. Your call. I know I can trust you guys to think fairly, so.
Yes, I would love for this to work, and obviously I am tempted to do it for that reason alone. And I love giving in to temptation. I'm a huge fan of that. So yeah, my spirit got knocked loose a bit in Cairn.
Yeah.
The Cairn lifestyle is my lifestyle.
You were right at the edge of the apocalypse, so.
Yeah. And all of these abilities are still, like, completely unpublished now. They've been completely redacted. They've got a whole new guy for this.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't mind at all.
I mean, Jimmy would work in Cairn. Jimmy would
be fine.
An Enru Marv.
He'd be a great Enru Marv. He would be, like, he would have pulled skills from Spiritualist and from Criminal.
Yeah.
He'd be very successful.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let it go then. So you truck over to the other room, the monitoring station, I believe it was, and of course the remains that you guys left behind from your tussle there are still in play. And you want to try and basically rip some data out.
Yes, because I get to do regular, like, speak with dead anyways, I will ask the corpse, the creature, if its spirit is available for conversation. I'll ask some questions,
Okay.
Given that it was undead at the time rather than properly simply dead, I don't know if that will happen. That's up to you.
Yeah. All right. So there is still a lingering essence. It's tainted, it's corrupted, but there's something still there. So I will allow you to ask your question. Plural.
Okay. I get 5 questions with Speak with Dead.
Okay. What do you want to ask? Don't pull a D&D movie on us now.
I would never. Not least because I haven't seen it yet.
There's a Speak with Dead moment in it that's actually pretty funny.
Nice. I start with, were you a mechanic on this ship?
I was an engineer.
That sounds about right. I have been told, and don't quote me on this, that the reactor is about to go, I believe, super critical. What would you recommend someone do about that if they don't want that to happen?
That's a very complicated question. I would need extreme amounts of details in order to answer it properly. My first suggestion would be to abandon ship.
Sad to say, extreme amounts of details are not something I can provide. The little metal guys, the scrubbers, could they do anything about it? Could they be helpful?
They could not repair the damage.
Okay. Did they have a language? Did you ever speak with them? Did anyone of your crew ever speak with them?
Aside from assigning orders occasionally, no.
They understood the orders, though. What language did you give the orders in? Your own Elven?
Of course.
How many questions is that?
That was 5.
That was fine.
We sort of...
What is your favorite color?
What?
Rip.
So, Jimmy sort of stands up a bit, brushes off his slacks. Alright, back to rest with you poor sucker.
Alright. The spirit fades.
So we are now aware that they comprehend Elven,
Yes.
the specific dialect of Elven used by these specific elves.
Which is a start. It's something.
And with no real proof that they have another language, at least one that Jimmy would be capable of comprehending and then speaking in,
Yeah.
he will draw the knowledge of Elven out of the spiritual void.
Okay. I will allow that.
Makes more sense, anyways.
Yeah. All right, so you draw,
Back in I go.
You draw it out. Back in you go. All right. So Jimmy returns. Saren's pacing in the corner. What is everyone doing?
Did you find out anything of note, Jimmy?
Well, the guy was an engineer. Said the problem of fixing a supercritical reactor is incredibly complicated, and he was going to need a lot of detail. I wasn't really in much of a position to provide. But I did learn. The little guys understand Elven, at least well enough to take orders occasionally. And so I picked up some Elven in the conversation. I borrowed it for a minute.
Are you going?
And
Sorry.
unfortunately,
Go ahead.
they can't fix it themselves. It's probably going to be on us.
That's fine. All right. How do we get there quickly then?
I assumed that it would have to be up to us, but what we need is for the little scrubber to actually get us a path out of here that doesn't involve trying to shrink down and go through its pathways. I don't think we could muster enough arcane energy to actually shrink that small.
That is a question
What?
for him.
No, it's not.
And I pointed the scrubber.
That's not a question at all.
How to get down to the reactor.
Well, I mean, how to get to the reactor, yeah, but like enough arcane energy to shrink us all down, I can handle that easy.
Not small enough to go into the tunnels.
Well, here's the thing.
I've got charges of reduce for the whole party.
Out of character, I think the reduce would shrink us down to small. It would shrink you down to tiny, but like us, it would get us down to small, which would be rat size. And Rat as is cannot fit into the maintenance tunnel. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, have you guys actually looked in the maintenance tunnels yet?
No.
Physically? I'm asking because you guys don't actually know what they look like. You haven't seen
They
them.
have been described to us.
We know that the scrubbers have created these maintenance tunnels themselves. I would be very surprised if they were any bigger.
I'm just saying, you were described to them by somebody who barely recognizes they exist too. So,
Yes.
something to keep in mind.
Indeed. I'm gonna sit down on the floor and I'm gonna tap the little scrubber on the side and say, "Wake up, sleepyhead."
All right.
How far
You know,
away are these tunnels?
Well, the compartment the scrubber was in is attached to one.
How far down then do we need to travel to get to the room that we're trying to reach?
It's not going to be a short jaunt.
Many floors.
More than 500 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
The small thing begins to light up at various points and hum just slightly. A very faint, almost inaudible vibration kind of moves through it, and it seems to kind of come to life before you, Jimmy.
Ooh. So, again in Elven, I would say, how's the voice box doing? Can you speak?
It just sits there silently.
Yeah, I figured this was going to be a tricky one. Listen, buddy. We need a hand. I don't know if you've got, your old brain linked into the whole system here, but I have been told the system is not doing well. You've got a reactor. The reactor is going to do something called go supercritical. Don't know what that entails. I don't like it, though. I do know it entails me dying. I'd like to stop that. I'm sure you would like the ship to keep existing. Now, me and all my friends here, we're a bit bigger than you. We can get smaller than this if necessary, but we're still a bit bigger than you even then. Can you get us down? And I assume no response whatsoever.
The small thing comes up about an inch off the floor. It seems to be just hovering there. And the lights cycle through its form, and then it zips off really quickly around you and out the door. A couple seconds later, unless someone goes after it,
I was gonna go make sure I looked through the door, see where it was going.
it goes into the other room. And you hear this whirring, and then it comes zipping back with a strange arm-like attachment extending from an open cavity in its center, with a pair of pincers at the end holding up a now freshly dismembered hand of one of the corpses to you.
I appreciate it. I take the hand. Does it come with instructions?
Are you
I ask this aloud, yeah.
Are you looking at the scrubber when you ask this?
Yes, I'm looking at the scrubber when I ask this.
It pauses for a moment as you take the hand, and then very gently with one of its pincers, it reaches up and taps your open hand.
Well, that'll get us through one door for sure. But I mean, we've got a bit of a problem. The elevator is not going to work super well. It's a long way down.
Question.
What's that?
This freshly severed hand, are the blood vessels in it cauterized, or is it just dripping blood all over the floor?
It's not dripping anything, at least liquid.
It's a bit old.
Yeah, it's old and leathery. Some dust falling out of it, but no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bryn is going to sort of give Jimmy a gentle tap on the shoulder, and then she's going to bend down and start issuing statements to the scrubber herself. And her first one is going to be, how large are the maintenance tunnels that you use? What are the dimensions of it?
You feel a gentle tap on your own shoulder. As Saren's kind of leaning over. She says that they're not cognitive.
No
They-
voice box in there for sure.
They only understand commands. Like, they don't do critical thinking on any level.
Yeah, that wasn't a statement.
And give me the dimensions of the maintenance tunnels.
That's gonna give it pause for a moment.
I thought with Bryn's questions that it would work sort of like Alexa. That's what I was going for.
Yeah. No, it gives it pause for a second. And kind of hovers over and taps the screen where the schematics are pulled up.
Bryn will walk over and look.
While these guys are questioning the scrubber bots, are there any of them that are other ones that are in the area?
Just the one.
Okay.
At least visible.
Vernal,
What was wrong with the elevator?
it started to go into free fall when we were in it.
It tried to
That's
kill you.
fine then. Okay, so the elevator shaft is clear.
Stu starts looking around for other scrubber bots that might be in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, how about we just fly down the elevator shaft?
This vague questioning bores me.
So tell me what's on the schematic.
Oh, well, looking at the schematic, it's like somebody took a wad of spaghetti and threw it against a wall. It's a tangle. And you see that the sizes vary from just small enough to fit this thing through to some of them get as big as like 10 foot in diameter. At various points. So that's why it couldn't give you a direct answer. There's too much variance in the answer.
Then she'll turn to the scrubber and say, "Show me the dimensions of the maintenance tunnels that lead out of this room."
Alright. It reaches up with another extension as its pincers fold back and another piece of its arm kind of comes out of the center, plugs into a console on the panel, and it lights up several tunnels coming out of this room on the schematic, about 5.
Well, everyone, it looks like there are 5 exits out of this room that lead into the maintenance tunnels.
And there's always Rat's suggestion about flying down the elevator shaft, too.
Yes.
Out of
Timmy's
character,
looking
we
at the
also have to deal with the 3 undead that we sealed off behind the wall.
Looking at the schematic, where obviously at least one of the maintenance tunnels is leading out of the little cubby hole,
Yes.
right? I'll stick my head down and see if I can look through it.
You look through it?
Yeah.
It's big enough to where you guys could, even Draken could crawl through it.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, it's
Not
a bit
bad
of
at
a
all.
it's a bit of a drop, so you'd be kind of shimmying down.
Okay.
But it could be done, yeah.
Come back over to the screen. I look at the schematic, which is hideous, terrifying. I look at the scrubber and I say, if there is a path through the maintenance tunnels down to the reactor which could accommodate, I gesture at us, large organisms like us, please indicate it.
It lights up the tunnel that leads from its pod.
Oh. My friends, I think we got lucky. Well, I'm not going to say that, actually. I take that back. Lucky is too strong. I think we can take action if we want to.
Saren, do you think you can upload this path that the scrubber has highlighted into your wrist device?
I don't see why not, of course. You could always ask the scrubber to lead you.
True.
That was the plan. Is everybody down?
Seems the best option we have.
At least Colin won't be here to drown this time.
Yes, we will attempt to avoid this. Drowning is bad for basically everyone but me.
Actually, I have a rebreather.
Oh, shit, that's right. Draken's fine.
It's true. Some of these gadgets could come in handy, you never know. Alright, so the plan is to go into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll follow directly behind the scrubber.
Alright, so do me a favor, real quick. Line up your order because it is one abreast. Like we'll put the scrubber in front of you, but
Yeah. Well, Rat wants first.
okay.
I fear no death. I go behind a Rat.
Okay.
Bryn will be behind Jimmy.
Okay.
And put Cinder down here by Istu.
Oop.
There we go.
I guess Saren will be in the back.
Mhm.
All right.
Being somewhat nervous about this whole thing.
Yeah, she's not real keen on it. All right, so we're
It's a silly
going.
suggestion.
Are you making one or just doing this in general?
What? No, this in general is a silly suggestion. We could just fly down the elevator shaft.
It's a long way, man.
And then we had to deal with the undead that we contained behind Istu's stone wall.
I believe we crashed a big elevator through at least part of it, and were informed that it does not reliably remain within the clean and sanitary hull of the ship and occasionally travels through space.
Yeah. And do you think the maintenance tunnels are going to be more sealed?
I think they won't go through space. I hope they won't go through space.
It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. I wouldn't worry. Is it this one?
All right, let's march.
Okay, to the scrubber now. Please lead us to a safe maintenance station of the reactor.
That we can fit through.
Yes.
Okay. He unplugs from the panel, I should say, and scoots over to its pod and turns and slowly begins to descend.
We're on the way.
Okay. So, Jimmy, you are in the lead.
No, Rat's in the lead.
Oh, sorry, Rat, you're in the lead. Right behind the scrubber. You being very small, like you're shimmying, unless you're using some other means.
Why is this tough to fit?
No, you if you're gonna shimmy, you're gonna actually be like arms out, legs out, kind of scooting down as you go.
I think he has boots that can hover.
Aces fly.
Could I could just like hover a little bit?
Okay. No, that's why I'm asking. I just want to know how you're each kind of shimmying along.
I gotta do the climb. You know, the roguish climb.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can't like walk casually, I'll fly a little bit casually.
All right. Well, it's going vertical. You're
Going vertical?
Yeah, you're going straight down.
Oh.
So that's why I'm asking. You're shimmying down the pipe on the inside of it. All right. So
No,
now,
I suppose I can fly then, and I will help make sure everybody gets down safely.
okay.
One abreast, never mind.
Yeah.
That's a little tricky.
Shoot, that's rude. I'm flying then. I'm flying. Hey guys, there's like a pipe here. You should probably use that. But I'm gonna fly ahead and make sure it's secure.
All right. Well, the bot. Okay, so
I'm gonna follow right behind the bot to make sure the pipe's secure. The bot's using the pipe. I don't think the bot's using the pipe, right? It's kind of hovering too, right?
yeah, it's definitely hovering. There we go. It took me that long to figure out how to get that announcement going. All right. Although I think it. Yeah. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. So. I'll have to work on that as I go. Anyway. Everyone's kind of scooting down the pipe. I'm not going to make you roll to do the shimmy. unless you start getting involved in any other type of strange activity. But you begin going down this very smooth surface. It's all completely metal. There are no natural handholds or anything like that. Occasionally you will see a strange panel here and there with lights on it. No actual buttons or words, just lights and various ports for plugging into on it. The descent goes very slowly to begin with. The bot is definitely pacing itself to allow for you guys to be led, basically. Unless you demand that it move quicker, it won't.
No, this is fine by me. You don't want to rush this.
Okay. So this vertical shimmy goes on for about...
Are we on a pace to make it to the reactor before it explodes?
I mean,
We've got 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah, but it's how far?
That was not actually discussed.
Yeah. It's a ways, but like,
Yeah,
even
it
as
is.
big as the ship is, it can't take 3 days to cross.
Wait, you serious? You realize how big it is?
We saw how big it is.
Yeah, I gave you guys the actual specs. It's pretty big.
He gave us the specs. Just because it looks bigger or small from the outside doesn't mean this shit isn't like 20K across. And
It's fine.
man,
We'll be fine.
It's fine. This is fine.
this shit would take a month to walk from one end to the other.
You do 20K in a day.
Anyways.
20K in a day. We got this. It's fine. So, you go for about 30 yards straight down, right? And then the bot, it just kind of drifts up this elbow at a junction. The tube continues to go straight down, but the bot moves up at about a 45-degree angle upward as it turns, pausing to allow you to follow.
Okay, is that a tricky maneuver, or can we get in there pretty easily?
It depends on if you want to back in or go forward, but it's nothing I'll make you roll for.
Okay.
I will say that by the time you do get into the 45-degree upward angle, arms and legs are getting a little wobbly and worn out. Nothing mechanical, but you're feeling the burn of the workout, so to speak.
Feeling the burn. This is probably better. We're heading up. It's steep, but it's an upward grade. This is probably more of a shuffle step here.
Mm-hmm.
For crouch walking.
All right. And is everyone continuing on? No change?
Yep. No
Okay.
change.
All right. So this goes up for about 20 yards and opens up into a small round compartment. It's about 15 feet in diameter. The bot kind of hops out, goes to the center of this circular room. You see kind of tubes coming out of this room in various places. Probably 10 to 15 of them. There's a lot of them. Pay no mind to the dice rolling.
It's time for dice.
So you guys come out about halfway up the sphere, and would have to kind of slide down or try to make your way down to the center where the bot is. He's waiting on you.
I can slide down pretty smoothly, I hope.
Okay.
Rat just floating. Cheat codes.
Okay. Everybody kind of doing the same, drifting on down.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Magic boots.
Yep.
All right. So, if you want to, and this is entirely optional, once again, you may make a perception
roll.
persecution roll.
I think that's called an attack roll.
28, 22. Geez. Thank you, Draken, for rolling low.
Welcome, but still not a 1.
I'm gonna start rewarding low rolls. We're gonna reverse the challenge. Rat, you're the first one out, and with a 27, you'll see this. There's a small square panel on the floor. The top of it seems to be glass, and there's a small flashing light in the center of it, and a large crack going down the center, kind of from one corner to the other of this panel. The bot doesn't seem to take any notice or anything of it as it waits for you, but you see it sitting there. It kind of seems out of place in the otherwise very sterile, very clean, spherical room you're in.
Why would the bots have data access point? Like, why would the bots need a terminal? Are we in like a people space?
Who are you asking?
I'm just pondering.
Oh, okay. And the rest of you, aside from Draken, will notice it as well.
It's a little strange. I don't really trust myself to poke too much down here. Ratt, if you want to have a look at it. Up to you.
I think Bryn will go over and touch the glass.
I can't read it, so.
Alright. You touch the glass, and an image springs to life beneath the glass. It's cracked, so there's some distortion to it, but you see a male elven figure dressed in the uniforms that you're kind of very quickly growing accustomed to seeing, standing in the room you're in right now, by the looks of it. He's shouting something, but the sound isn't coming through. But as he does, he points up to one of the tubes on the wall, like frantically points, and then seems to look over the top of whatever of the panel that you're looking at. If he was recording on it, his eyes grow wide and then just goes dark.
I'm guessing more images, illusions of the day that the horror specs got blasted with the negative energy that also affected Cairn.
I'm gonna say I was watching over the ghost's shoulder here. I immediately turn around and I point my shiny new flashlight into that tunnel.
There is an old rust-colored smear along with something brittle and flaking that seems to stain the lower section of the wall just below that portal.
Very old, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Doesn't look like anything's gonna burst out of it on us now. Probably he just got in the impact, I guess you'd say. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, though, as we make our way down to the center.
Alright. So, as you guys gather and look this over, the bot patiently waits, but as it gets the sense that you're ready to move on, it moves up the wall and actually goes towards that portal.
Ah, shit.
Which is the appropriate reaction to that happening.
Alright, on your toes, everybody.
Portal?
Hole.
Hole, tube,
Hole? Where?
egress.
Yikes.
Generic variety of portal. Non-magical. Well, not intensely magical.
No more than anything else, let's be honest.
Well, let's make our way up.
Right.
Don't have any time to waste.
Everybody keeping going? Same.
Yes.
Okay.
Same order, but I am pointing the torch ahead and keeping a sharp eye out.
There was a hole?
But there's
There were
We're
a
about to
lot
head
of
into
holes.
one.
yeah, there's a whole bunch. It's just more tubes coming off.
I mean,
of
we were
this room.
already kind of in a tube, but we're going into a more like enclosed
Further
area.
tubes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you begin crawling through, and this one's a nice horizontal edge. You're crawling along. It gets a little tighter. Like Draken, your wings and shoulders are kind of brushing the edges of the wall as you're crawling through. The bot's once again just patiently, slowly moving through. About 15 feet in, Ratt, and of course Jimmy next, and everybody in order. As you're crawling along, you notice that it's no longer clean. There's this dust or something that you're picking up on your hands, and it's getting more and more prevalent as you're moving.
Yeah, Bryn's just going to prestidigitation as we go along because she doesn't like crawling through this dust.
All right. It gets worse and worse as you go, thicker and thicker, until you start actually crawling through caked, like chunks of this. It almost reminds you kind of like wet flour that's been left there for a long time.
She continues to prestidigitation and say, "God damn it." Thick.
None of that's good. We are walking directly into a death trap at the moment. How does it look further ahead? I should be able to see relatively far down the pipe.
Peering past the bot and Ratt with the torch, you see that this weird powdery substance gets thicker on ahead.
Is Bryn's cleaning even doing anything?
I mean, as you're going, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't need to breathe.
Everyone behind Bryn is not really dealing with much of an issue.
Yeah, I feel like Bryn would be like casting ahead effectively, so Ratt and Jimmy would be alright.
That's fine, yeah. Like, it's not hurting anyone. I'm assuming nobody's trying to eat it or snort it or use it as a dry shampoo or something. I don't know.
Ideas, but no, not yet.
All right. So another 20 feet or so, and looking ahead as you do, it gets thicker and thicker, and it actually gets to the point where it appears as though the scrubbers have carved out into this chalky mass as you see the edges of the tube you're in end, and it opens up. You can tell like you're coming into a room, but the room is filled with this white powdery substance, and they have actually tunneled through it. The bot's steady going.
Alright, try not to touch too much of the dust.
Yeah, Ghost, you want to go first and carve out the hole with the, waves his hands around in a manner reminiscent of casting, but completely failing to be any kind of somatic component.
I certainly can.
All right. As you're going, you hear Saren in the back as she's kind of finally noticing this, because she's way in the back and she's actually been getting the clean tube. But looking ahead, it's hard not to notice this now because you're actually coming into a tunnel of whatever this is. And you hear her kind of mumbling and looking around. She'll kind of swipe a little bit off the wall, and anyone who's watching her will notice that she smells it and then actually tastes it. She kind of makes a face, but then chuckles.
What is it?
We used to jokingly call it corpse starch.
Ugh.
It's a dehydrated food replacement. Why is there so much of it here?
As long as it's not made out of actual corpses, I'm sure we'll be fine.
She kind of goes quiet at that.
I'm going to rephrase that very carefully. As long as it's made out of very carefully prepared corpses, we'll be fine.
Licks the science, yeah. Yeah, she brushes her hands off. You guys carrying on through? Anyone else want to try the corpse starch?
Nah, I'm not too
What do
hungry.
you mean, try the... No.
Alright. So yeah, the bot carries you through. It's about a 30-foot expanse, so you can imagine there is a lot of this. Are you trying to remove chunks of it, Bryn, with prestidigitation?
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you may destabilize the chamber.
Okay, yeah, no. If in character she realizes this, then
Yeah.
no.
Now that's why I'm saying you guys are experienced and intelligent enough adventurers to where you might if I actually destroy a large chunk of this tunnel, it could be bad. So no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, you'll make it through. It's about 30 feet, and then it kind of starts to petter out and clean up again. You come to another junction. This one goes 3 different directions, all 3 of them down. One at a 90-degree angle, the other 2 at 45. Luckily for you, it takes the one on the left that goes 45 degrees down.
Following through?
Okay.
You still want the lead?
Yeah. It'd be hard to change right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Bryn doesn't really care about that leading.
Oh, did you guys switch? Is Bryn in the lead?
We talked about it for Bryn to, prestidigitation without having to fire that off ahead of Ratt and everyone, but I don't know. I think given this, that will keep the old order.
Okay. That's perfectly alright. Alright, you begin down the 45-degree angle. It's not straight. You can feel like it's awkward. It's an awkward climb. And once again, the tube gets a little bit tighter. Draken, you're having to fold down, and it's not squeezing you, but it's tight. Because, you're one of the widest people in the party. Widest people.
I'm big boned.
The bones in the wings are large, even if they're not very heavy.
And you know what? I'm gonna change that right now then.
Uh-oh, what's he doing?
I'm becoming like a gecko.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
A little tiny one?
No, medium size.
A medium-sized slimy gecko?
Something that sticks to the walls.
Alright.
Just keeps walking.
That's fine. No worries at all.
I would like to join this party.
Alright. Alright, well, everyone's getting weird. I like it.
Everybody's got magic tricks except for me.
Are you
You
just
talked to dead people earlier. That's your
That's
magic trick.
That's
also
more of a
true?
condition than a trick.
And Bryn's innately both. In fact, I imagine that as we're going along, Bryn's just sort of shrinking herself as needed
Yeah.
to make it a little more comfortable for her.
The joys of being a changeling.
Yeah, just sort of morphing her body and limbs so she has the most optimal and comfortable climbing experience.
That works.
Meanwhile, back here, snake party. Nice.
Snake party. So you guys are moving through.
Or lizard party.
Rat's kind of hovering. Jimmy's crawling. Everybody's changing forms. So let me see here. Ratt,
Yo, what up?
I need you to give me an intelligence check, please.
Cool, cool. Intelligence save?
Check.
We're in
Kind
danger.
of intelligence check.
Yeah, just roll your intelligence with your modifier, basically.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Nice.
all right. So you notice there's some cracks in the tube here and there in the section that you're beginning to enter into right now. You being the mad tinkerer that you are, it looks safe enough, you think. Like, it's still structurally sound, but it is metal and you see cracks in it.
I understand. My specialty is bringing buildings down. I understand structural weaknesses. You guys, be careful not to put too much of your weight in one place. Coming up here, there's some damage. It may be precarious.
All right. I'll step careful.
All right. Is to making the mad wisdom saves. You might want to save some of those rolls. 24. So carrying on, you guys continue on. You continue on. Pay no mind to the dice. I love that you guys don't even get nervous anymore. You're just like, oh no, he's doing this to screw
It's
us.
just, things happen, and we deal with them.
It's fine. This is fine.
It's fine. Numbers are fine.
All right. So, after a while of this, it gets a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter until finally, Jimmy, like your shoulders are like you're having to hunch over and kind of pull in. But after a time of this, about maybe 30 feet or so of kind of scraping through, it opens up once again into an oval-shaped room. The bot once again kind of drifts down along the curvature. This one, however, only opens up at the far end of the room. However, the first thing you notice is there is no light in this chamber. So the only light in this chamber, unless somebody else is carrying something, is your torch. And what your torch illuminates is art.
Ooh.
All over every surface of this chamber is this very strange art. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's so perfect in design. Every line is completely straight. Every corner is completely perfect. Every curve is completely perfect. Very geometric in an abstract kind of way, as far as you can tell.
This is me deciding exactly how much of an art critic Jimmy is, and with that charisma score, I'm going to go with he's actually a very, very receptive individual when it comes to the arts.
Okay.
Oh wow! Oh, I'm scanning it with the torch.
All right. So
That is wild.
it's hard to get a full picture with just the torch, obviously, because you're only spotlighting small sections at a time. But it is pretty impressive.
I'm a little afraid to light my actual lantern. How much light does Kian's lantern put off?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, I didn't figure.
His spirit wasn't terribly bright.
No. Oh well, I appreciate what I can with the beam.
How does this look to a character with dark vision?
It's smudges more than anything. You can't really wake out detail, and of course color is completely lost.
Makes sense, makes sense.
You can tell there's something there.
Yep. Cool. Don't lean on it. Got it?
Do you think this was... I gesture at the little guy. Don't see anybody else making it down here to do it.
Funny how with all those questions you didn't ask a name, but okay.
Is too.
I tried questions. He didn't answer.
The little bot only
Sure he
takes
did.
commands.
Found a way to get what you wanted. Alright.
Are you guys
Yeah.
moving through, or you gonna stop and have a look, or what do you want to do?
We're in a bit of a hurry. I appreciate it as we go.
Yeah.
Our imminent
Likewise.
demise requires us to continue onward.
It kinda does.
Okay. And that is the only light source, right? Just the torch.
I don't know. I can put a light on the end of my gun.
Nice.
Not gun.
Smooth.
Or is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I can put a light on the end of my accelerator. And as I lead the way.
All right. Well, that'll light up the room. As it does, the entire vista kind of opens up to all of you. And it is a pristine mechanical drawing. But it does actually seem to tell a picture in a weird kind of primitive way. And it's this story almost that opens up around you, carved into the wall with laser precision, just etched slightly, and then colored in certain places. The colors are strangely vibrant, like bright colors, almost unnaturally bright, day glow neon type colors. But as you kind of browse along this strange artistic vista around you, it seems to tell a story of the ship getting damaged, and then these humanoid figures kind of changing from simple, neutral humanoid designs to horrific, terrible things with teeth and angry faces chasing these poor little small oval-shaped creatures around. And then the creatures burrowing deep into their home and seeking refuge there and plotting revenge.
Interesting.
We may have something larger to deal with eventually.
We don't have time. We have to get through here. But
mean, after
that's
the
interesting that
reactor.
they've developed culture and recorded it.
They also seem able to hold a grudge, but the question's open whether they recognize us as being worthy of visiting that grudge upon.
Saren looks flummoxed. She's shocked. Flabbergasted, even. But you guys carrying on? The bot's not slowing down.
Yeah, we're carrying on.
Okay. So it goes into the other end of the pipe. Once again, it kind of narrows down to its normal, subnormal size. And it begins to slowly slope at an arc downward. Rat, would you give me another intelligence check, please? Okay.
Oof.
Looks good to you.
Seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. I'm
That's a
flying.
tiny number.
I'm flying. So, I mean,
Yeah, it looks
you
good.
guys need to be careful behind me.
Looks good. So you guys carry on another 20 feet, 30, 40, 50.
Ah.
At 50 feet. Oh, God. Okay. You guys are moving along. The tunnel's steadily gotten tighter and tighter. It's super dark and it's starting to get very hot. Those of you who are capable of it are sweating. It's starting to wear on you. The heat is. You're in a small cramped metal tube, and it's getting warmer and warmer and tighter and tighter.
Istu looks behind themselves. Is that you? No? Oh. That's alarming.
Yeah. As you look back, I assume you're saying that to Cinder.
Right.
As you look back, say that, you notice this strange line with your dark vision. This lines begin to run through the tube around you, and at first you're like, "What is that?" You're not really sure, and then you all hear Saren yelp, and suddenly she disappears through a hole in the floor that opens up underneath her.
Breach. We got a breach. How large
Cinder's
is the
the only
hole?
one closest enough to potentially react to that.
Of course, he's in a tight tube.
Exactly. It would probably be very difficult. If you think it's possible at all, you can have him do that. I don't know.
Can
No
I
one's really
see the?
piloting.
Can I see the hole?
You can see the hole, yeah. I'm going to
How
say
big?
he wouldn't be able to, just because of the situation more than anything.
How big is it?
It's not big. It looks like just a chunk of the floor of the tube basically fell out from under her.
So big enough to fit her through it, but not large.
No, it's not large.
And whatever it went into, is it expanding?
Not presently.
Mm. I don't like that. I start moving away from the hole. I don't know what else to do. Like,
Okay. Now, everybody heard the yelp. If Jimmy shines his light, well, no, there's enough light still going, probably from Ratt even, that you can see. Saren is gone, and there is a hole in the floor.
We lost Saren, everyone.
Ah, shit. Cinder, where'd she go?
self-preservation kicks in, and Istu is just pressed against the wall.
Cinder points down at the hole.
What does Cinder see?
Cinder, looking down the hole, sees darkness.
Does he have dark vision?
Not
He's
sure.
got a lot of stuff.
He's a fire genasi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got dark vision.
Okay.
Yes.
See everything in darkness in the shade of red. Looking down the hole, he sees about 50 feet down Saren splayed out on a floor, not moving.
Hmm. Well, Draken's a salamander. And Istu is... Istu, what did you turn into?
This dude just
Some-
changed some features to make moving through the tunnel easier.
Became smaller.
Sticky fingered.
Ratt, how much can you fly with those? You lift a person?
I don't need to.
Ah, that's right. Wizard shit. Alright.
Wizard shit.
I call out to the scrubber ahead. Hey, wait up a minute, man.
I pass the hand cannon back to Cinder
Okay.
and tell him to aim it at, or point it at Saren.
What's the range on it?
90 feet.
Okay. And this is your teleport?
Yep.
Okay.
Saren, trust us.
Fireplace? No?
Byong.
Boom,
That's such a
boom.
good ability.
It's ape sounds. Thunder.
Okay.
But you.
And we only need the save if it's an unwilling, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we won't worry about that then. All right. So yeah, he manages to port Saren up. She's looking very much worse for the wear, bleeding out of her ears and nose and mouth, just a little.
Well, guess what Cinder's got?
Lay hands.
Lay on hands.
Okay. All right. So is he gonna use it?
I would say so. And as much as I get to pilot Cinder, I would say yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Simon, we miss you. So yeah, how much?
His pool is 5 by level. His paladin level is. I don't honestly know.
10
I think it's at least
on
10.
the sheet.
Yeah, it says 10 on the sheet. I assume that's just the paladin level because he's got some of like warlock.
Okay. So yeah. So
He's got 50 to work with. He might pump 20 in.
All
Depends
right.
on how banged up she is.
that'll
Sheet
bring
says
her.
25.
That'll bring her around. We'll do 20. That's fine. He can keep the 5 for spare.
Yeah, the sheet said 25, so.
Okay. No, that's perfect.
I think I
don't-
probably typed that in actually after the last time I had him use lay on hands.
So no, that'll bring her around. She's a little pale, kind of spooked. That rang her bell pretty hard. She's, thank you. Oh gosh, thank you. Kind of look back at the hole in the ground.
Definitely got to watch your step.
Would you guys like to carry on?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing else to do, really.
All right.
Continue leading us, Scrubber.
Okay. He begins to
I
move
go.
again. The tunnel splits into a Y. Scrubber goes left. And once again, it opens up after about 50 feet into a square cube-shaped room. You come out at the bottom. As the tube kind of arcs downward, comes out just as you're about to start going like uncomfortably vertical. It opens up into this square room.
Mhm.
I love this. This is so much fun.
Roll them dice.
Interesting. Okay. I was prepared for this.
I was always prepared.
Am
And-
I allowed to cast a spell when we land in this room?
Of course you are. What do you want to cast? Okay. Is Alter Self concentration?
Likely, yes.
Okay,
But I
so-
wouldn't drop it anyway.
Tis.
Okay. You'd rather have protection?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. So, as you come into the room, there's these very soft, small lights that run along the edges of the floor. They're not candles, but about the same intensity, each one of them. In the very center of the room is this pile of bones, humanoid bones, in the very center of the room. And on top of it is this strange looking sculpture of, I don't know, it's a cylindrical form but has arms with big claws and a very perfectly etched face on the front of it. It's a little unnerving. The bot doesn't seem to take any notice of it. It just slowly starts moving forward and goes to start working around it.
Does the cylindrical form resemble the scrubber units?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Does it look like it's literally a scrubber unit instead of just a sculpture of one?
There's some artistic license, but yeah.
Little bit suspicious. But I mean, assuming that these things are the turned version of the former crew. We've wiped out a good number of them ourselves.
It's fair. All right. Everybody carrying on, just scooting around this thing.
Carrying
try
on,
not to
but
disturb
Bryn's
it.
getting sus.
That's kind of weird. Try not to disturb it.
Okay.
Well,
Sarah.
I mean, you wage a generations-long war against undead abominations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or are you insight checking?
I
Jemmy?
would say I'm insight checking this statue situation. Like, would it be better to pause here, or is our imminent demise more important? Probably the latter, right?
So insight is really just for a living creature. You're trying to suss what's going on in their head out. This doesn't have any, at least visible cognizance, so
Okay.
I will say it makes you uncomfortable.
Good thing I can't be frightened right now, right? Right?
Yeah.
Let's
Nope.
keep moving. Yep.
Okay. So everybody moves on along.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. The next passage is about 5 foot in diameter, completely. So it's opened a good bit. You're actually able to walk. Some of you might hunch over a little bit, but you're on your feet. You're not crawling and scooting along. Anti-ghost spell. The scrubber begins to kind of move in a weaving form as it goes down this passage, kind of back and forth, weaving.
It's interesting. It's a little inconvenient, but at least we're still moving.
Everybody carrying on, no change?
Carrying on, no change.
Okay.
I'm watching my corners more carefully now. I'm withholding judgment on the current position of the Scrubber Nation against other sort of,
The
simian-shaped
Scrubber
life
Nation.
forms.
The Scrubber Nation. I love it.
But you have to recognize when you can probably be murdered by people who have been waging a long war against creatures that look like you.
So, if you want, once again, you may make a prescription roll.
Yeah, I got those.
That was my worst one tonight.
Huh.
Oh!
Check me out. That's the worst it
Nice.
gets. That's as low as it goes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why D&D is broken.
Rogues specifically, but also more generally.
Don't worry, I've got you, Church. I've got your low number for you.
Oh, here we go.
Do it.
I can always count on Draken to... There we go.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Can always count on Draken to be oblivious.
Draken's broken in a different way. He doesn't have to roll very high. He can blow up buildings no matter what.
This is true. He still has the highest body count in the game.
Yeah.
So, Ratt, Jimmy, Bryn, as you're moving through, you notice that there's a small panel of the wall on your right side that's actually kind of just hanging askew just a bit. It looks like there's a compartment behind it.
Very gently.
There appears to be small cuboid packages inside, packed, kind of stacked high, wrapped in some kind of paper.
I will take one as I walk and yell back to Saren, "Hey, they got something in the wall here."
Nope. We leave this alone.
I feel like that's not gonna be a good idea.
Saren looks like she has no idea what it is.
I'm unwrapping one of the packages.
Okay. You unwrap it?
Yep.
It's filled with a brown powder.
Oh God.
It's different, I assume, from the corpse flakes we saw earlier.
It looks different, yeah.
Jimmy looks at it and something's kind of... A relay is clicking in the back of his mind. He looks over at Rat and he says, Rat, do you think you could tell an explosive just by looking at it?
Oh no. Oh no.
Probably.
Here, have a look at that.
Okay.
You want to take a look?
I have a roll for that. Yeah, I have advantage. Or history on items and objects and devices and things like that.
That's a really good roll. So here's what I'm going to give you.
Still say put it back.
It is not an explosive, but based upon your history and experience, and based upon your knowledge of science, quote unquote, this is a drug stash. This is an illegal contraband stash.
Interesting. This is Hooch. Guys,
Wow, that's a lot of effort to stash that.
we found robot cocaine.
That would be even more impressive. No, I think
It's-
that's
it's-
probably Elven.
It's rocaine.
Rocaine.
That's the Elven moon dust right
Perfect.
there.
Rocaine.
TM. Let's go.
I mean, hell, you never know when you need this sort of stuff. Stash it away.
All right.
Hey, you got any of those blocks?
Got any cubes?
Brindle
So-
stuffs some in her pockets.
There's a lot in there, so if any of you take any, can you just put it on your character sheet as drug stash?
Rocaine. Got it.
Rocaine. we can call it Rocaine. That works. Rocaine.
I'll hand it back to Jimmy and say, "That's drugs, my dude."
All right.
Did you try
You
some?
gotta be.
Yeah.
Oh, you
You gotta
did?
how
be
you- that's how
careful
you
with the
find out.
elven stuff. It's not a big deal for them if they get knocked out for a week sometimes.
So do me a favor, if you did try some, Rat, give me a con save. Ooh, look at that.
Rat was in the gnomish military
Yeah.
for centuries.
So, Rat, it lights you up.
80th century.
The moment it hits your system, it lights you up. You have a advantage on initiative
Woo!
for the
Let's
next
go.
hour.
Trigger finger's a little itchy.
However, there is a slight chance you may start hallucinating.
I was already gonna do that.
All right.
Rat has tried every space drug. He's had this before.
That's funny. 31 plus 5.
Jeez.
All right. So carrying on.
Carrying
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Rat, as you guys are kind of doing this, the bot's gotten a little bit ahead of you. Not terribly far, but it makes a left turn at a T-junction ahead and disappears around the corner.
Too quickly for us to follow it,
How
or
far ahead is it?
About 10 feet. It's not terribly far. You could scoot up there and catch up.
I'd like to catch up to the robot.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
just reach in.
Are you?
You go scooch a bit.
I'm not touching the bot. I'm just moving my hand along with it.
Okay. All right. It's still there. It's still there. It does come to, after about 15 feet, it comes to an opening. On this opening, there's a small outcropping of metal, and you are in a large, like 30-foot radius metal shaft with more of these outcroppings and exits all over it. And all around, all above and below you, it goes to beyond your vision, basically. And you just see these little scrubbers kind of flying to and fro all over the place.
Oh, we hit the hive. Grand Central Station. Everybody play cool. Try not to look undead. We know they've got a bit of a thing about the undead. Oh shit,
It's
that's
too-
me. Wait.
Isu looks at Jimmy like, huh?
It took him a moment to remember this time. I don't look too zombie-like today, right?
I've got color today, right?
Right? Church rolling, how zombie-like I look.
Wait, you're dead.
Sure. I don't fucking know.
Wait, you're not alive?
Yeah.
Like marginal. A little.
What?
You're alive, Jimmy.
It's complicated.
Why you ask me these questions? Like I know.
So, as you come out onto the outcropping, as I assume everybody comes out onto the outcropping to see the hive in action.
Yep.
Yeah. An aperture-like door closes behind you, just twists shut in like a blink of an eye. And the bot turns to you. Once again, the small compartment in its center mass opens up, and that arm extends, and it's holding a small rectangular device to you, Ratt.
Okay. I'll take the device, I guess.
Okay. You take the device. It's small black rectangular device with this kind of metallic mesh over one side of it. And as you place it in your hand, it vibrates slightly and a voice comes out of it in common.
Oh.
Familiar voice.
What does it sound like?
Hey guys.
Oh no.
Shit burned down yet?
The voice of old Scratch, the Reverend Scratch, comes through.
Yeah.
Wait, Scratch, not
Yep.
not the angler.
Yeah.
Yep. Angler's a bit more greasy.
Wait, how?
I know. How could you get more grease into that?
How'd you
sound?
get my number?
New phone.
New
who
phone,
dis?
who dis?
Yeah, Reverend Scratch.
I had no dealings with Scratch. Like, I was there a little bit, but like, he didn't really have beef with me.
Wasn't it
Beef with
Shepherd
Jimmy.
Scratch back in the day?
Yeah, Shepherd Scratch. Sorry, I
There
said
we go.
Reverend, didn't I? Yeah, Shepherd Scratch.
He's gotten a promotion since then.
Yeah.
The right honorable reverend, literally a devil.
Shepherd Scratch. So I get the impression that you're not so intent on honoring our bargains.
Sorry. Yeah, we're working on it. You're just gonna have to give us a little more time, my guy. It takes some time to do these big things that you ask for.
Time. More time.
Yeah, just a little more time, and we're almost on it. Like, right now
I
we're
touch
just kind
Ratt
of.
on the shoulder. My man, you do not want to be doing any bargaining right now. Trust me. One, I didn't authorize you to do that.
Bargaining, scratch. It's fine. This is fine. So, they always ask for more time, more time, more time. They borrow money from me. They expect favors from me. And when I go to collect, like a good businessman, like an honorable, honest, upstanding businessman that I am, and I have honored every agreement I have ever made.
Hey, I got an important question for you, Church.
What's that?
Can any of the rest of us hear this?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't have him hallucinating immediately.
Oh, no, the whole party's picking up on this one.
That would have been so fun.
I'll just be over here blinking and chronergy is fine because like all they ask for is more time. Yep.
Is I've honored every bargain I've ever made. And I expect results. And I gave you so much.
You didn't give me shit.
Well, that's neither here nor there, I suppose, now. Because now, you've only got so much time. And as much as that wet slug, the angler, might like to think he's on top of things, just want you to know that I put you here, Jimmy. I put all of you here. Right now in this situation. With that clock ticking. You've got less than 3 days to honor your bargain. Can I expect that to happen?
Scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I invite you to join me and die with us if you want to do a damn thing about it.
What a colorful option. I've always liked you, Jimmy. You know that?
Everyone does. I'm a likable guy. It gets me into trouble more often than not, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I'll be sure to tell your secretary hi if you don't show up in 3 days.
Everybody, everyone.
Scratch, I'm going home. And when I finish my business there, it's just a little trip. You gotta visit home sometimes. We'll settle things.
Wow.
It's a real fast boat, I'm sure
it
we'll
is.
make it back.
I'm sure it is. I'm feeling a slight shift of tone there. Something a little bit, maybe even threatening. I like it. But let's make things interesting. Yeah?
My life has never ceased being interesting. I think somebody might have cursed me when I was younger.
It wasn't me. But yeah, we're gonna make things interesting. See, this little thing, whatever it is you've been following, it's not what it looks like.
Right? It doesn't really look like much.
Well, you're gonna wish it did. Anyway, best of luck to all of you. I hope I see you again, but if I don't, I win anyway. Scratch out. And with that, the scrubber begins to beep. 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 Beep.
As the beeping inevitably gets faster, I say, Remember what I asked you about explosives, Rat?
Yeah.
I point at the scrubber. How you feeling about our odds?
Trust your gut. Arcana, okay. Yeah, this thing's... It's... you're in danger.
Where was that hole that Saren fell in?
It's way back.
Way, way back.
Behind the shut door now, right?
Yeah, you guys are just on this little outcropping.
Istu would like to
There's
look for the
an
farthest
outcropping,
distance
so
away
that
from
means
this thing.
there's like a down below us then?
It goes well beyond your field of vision below you into the darkness.
Cool. I dropped the beeping thing
It floats, man.
down the
It was
fall.
floating.
What?
It's floating.
It's floating?
It's a
Alright.
it's a hovering servitor, brother.
Yeah, it's been
Easy.
hovering this whole time.
Easy peasy then. I cast catapult on it and throw it down into the abyss.
Nice.
Shoop.
See, can you cast catapult?
Up might
on
be
something?
better. He casts catapult all the time.
No, I mean on something this big.
1 to 5 pounds.
Yeah, he's about the same size as you are, remember?
I shrink it with reduce and
Oh my
then
God.
catapult.
This whole time I thought we'd been following around a Roomba.
No, he's about the
Kind
same
of.
size as Ratt, but yeah, same
Big
thing.
Roomba for big house.
Alright, so you want to try and cast reduce and then cast catapult on him.
Yep.
Okay. Is
One,
anyone... You basically... I'm going to give you... This is your action. Is to try and cast reduce. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking over the edge of this platform, seeing what's in jumping range below me.
What's your DC on reduce? There is no platform below you, by the way.
There's no other outcroppings.
Not anywhere that you could jump to, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
21.
21. Resisted. Okay. Anybody else want to take an action?
I would like to cast something
All right. What
on
do you got?
the on the scrubber.
Okay. What you got?
Should have already hit the chat by now.
Oh, dispel magic.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Okay. So I guess you need to make the roll on this one, though. Or no, I do. No, that's... Man, that is so poorly written. DC equals
That's
10
a
plus the
much
spell
better
level.
idea. Disarm the exploding thing instead of make the exploding thing just explode over there.
On a successful check.
Yes, and you can also
your
choose to
ability
cast at
check
a
is
higher
a skill
level.
check.
You are smart.
Oh, so I have to resist it. Or no. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level that you're trying to dispel.
You decide the level of the spell that's on the creature, and
Okay.
Istu rolls against it.
Alright, yeah, go ahead, roll this too.
Okay.
I was getting confused there. My goodness. I think I'd never played this before.
I swear they change the rules for dispel magic every time.
They probably do. It's so confusing. Show me that
Okay, I don't
fabulous
have
beam
any-
footage.
I don't have a thing to use for this, so I guess shrug.
Look at
I think that dispels literally anything.
No, that's pretty good. Okay. So,
It dispels a damn wish.
so your spell goes off, is too. The thing shudders and begins to turn back and forth, up and down, and looking. If it had eyes, you get the sense it's looking around at its surroundings. The beeping is continuing, but for some reason you get the sense that this thing is suddenly frantic, afraid, even.
Ah, shit, he mind controlled the little robot. How's your disarming skills? I trust you, Rat.
Well, does anyone else want to do an action before we get back to Rat?
Nope.
I think I used mine to assess the jump.
Okay.
I would like to turn out of a Ghinkgo back into Draken.
That's fair.
It's probably a good idea.
Okay. So, Rat.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to go. This thing's about to detonate. I want to give you each, basically, what is your action. You can try to disarm it, or you can try to get away from it.
Can I try to contain it?
If you can somehow do that, yeah.
Cool. I look out at the nearly exploding thing, and I cast a resilience sphere around it.
Luke's resilient sphere. Okay.
Resilient sphere around the beeping crater. The mind-controlled creepy critter.
Poor thing.
I'm sorry, my dude. Enjoy your sacrifice. You'll be remembered.
Can magic get through that sphere?
Nothing gets through that sphere.
No, I mean, like, if I did something, because I have a trick still.
What? No, it's done. It's just gonna explode in there, and we'll move on safely.
It'll be a little harder without something to
No
lead us.
physical objects, energy, or other spell effects can pass through or in or out.
Can I interrupt you before you get it off then?
Yeah, probably.
All right. As you like say, nah, nothing I can do. I'm gonna pull a trick. I love a trick.
Okay.
I already had Kian's lantern there at the hip.
You do. That's fair.
And you know what I want more than anything else right now?
Uh-oh. What's that?
I want a spite scratch.
Okay.
I want every plan this guy makes for the rest of his life to fail.
Oh. Are we pulling out a wish? Is that what we're doing?
I would like to prevent this little guy from exploding and to resume being led carefully and conscientiously to the reactor in full defiance of Scratch's wishes. I am so tired of being toyed with by these higher powers. Guess what? I killed an unkillable guy and trapped his soul in a lantern.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, technically, your girlfriend did that for you.
Yes,
but...
I did have a lot of... Well, you put it in a small lantern. I put it in a more permanent lantern.
Technically, I'm the one that killed him.
And technically... I got a powerful team here, actually.
This
My
is a
friends are
group
really
effort.
good at stuff.
I
is a
had
group
nothing to
effort.
do with this.
We just let him carry the trophy,
I love how proud of that death you are, too.
Yes, I was very pleased. Like, normally you don't kill Rakshasas. That doesn't work, really.
That's great.
He's staying dead.
Yes.
I defy these sons of bitches. I am using Kian's lantern. What I want most of all is to spoil Scratch's plan and this robot not explode.
All right. Give me the specifics.
The way we rolled it last time was you asked me, what is your deepest wish?
Mm-hmm.
And my deepest wish is, no. Scratch has a plan. I say, not this time. The tiny robot lives.
Okay. So we're trying to circumvent this destruction.
Yes.
That is the goal. Okay.
And we live. The tiny robot lives and we live.
That kind of goes, like, together. The tiny robot does not explode. Scratch does not get what he wants here.
We're gonna do a secret GM roll here. You'll be able to see it on the stream though.
I will not look at it out of respect for the things that might kill me.
Okay. All right. So, goodness. You know what? The beeping continues, gets faster and faster and faster. And it's frantic. This thing's just like looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. Everyone around you is like, oh god, we're gonna die.
Oh, not good.
And then it just...
Sphere.
You hit the sphere?
Mm-hmm.
Rat with the discretionary sphere.
The discretionary sphere.
Stu grabs Cinder's arm.
Okay. The beeping stops.
Okay. All right.
All
John's finally pulling his weight.
You can push the sphere from inside. Lead on, my guy. You're staying in there.
Yeah, the thing doesn't seem to really comprehend.
That's fine. As you were leading us to the reactor.
So
There was.
it only
there was
really
this
responded
path.
to Elvin previously, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Rat doesn't have Elvin.
And
Can
Sylvan,
somebody tell
technically.
this thing,
Yes.
like, to put us back on the path to the reactor, please? You had it on your data pad. I don't have your data pad. I don't speak that language. Can you tell it to do that?
We're gonna give that a shot. I mean, if it was under
Get
the
really
control
stressed.
of
How did that guy
Scratch.
get my number? I thought we were out of, like, in interdimensional, out of his reach space.
We are in the literal middle of nowhere. This is the most no place anyone has ever been.
And
It's-
technically, the angler went back on his word.
We have betrayed
I had
Scratch like 4 times
Nothing
over.
to do with any of that. When did you cross a devil?
Rat was there with us.
You were there.
I know I was there, but, like, what? Why were we crossing a devil?
Because I don't like him. Personally,
I mean,
on a personal
nobody
level, I
likes
dislike him
him.
intensely.
Can I ask a question while they're talking?
Of course. What do you got?
I would like to ask my character some questions about what it is this thing actually is, this servo thing, or this scrubber.
Scrub.
Okay.
When I cast Dispel Magic on it, it seemed frightened,
Yeah.
panicked,
Yes.
desperate to not die.
Yes.
It understood the concept of its life and the end thereof.
That's correct.
I know this is probably not possible. But I would like to try using a series of poor decisions to magic doesn't burst through this thing. Like I can't cast a spell and affect something inside that.
Oh yeah, the globe. No, as
Okay.
long as it's running. The resilient sphere.
Yeah, I can't really communicate, so
But
I'm
it
just-
only lasts for a minute though.
Oh. Rat? Is Rat gonna keep it going? Do you
For a minute, I guess. Why? Why not?
if there is a gap in the resilient sphere at some point,
In a
Istu would
minute,
like to
it'll show
try
again,
to
But I'm not going to recast it after a minute.
Istu would like to try to cast mending. Not really on the device itself, but on the aspects of its mind that had to deal with that trauma.
Okay, so psychological mending.
Pat pat.
Head pats for scrubber bots.
Psychological mending of a slightly sentient robot.
Even the dumbest of creatures understand death.
Yeah?
And that one had to face it alone with people who didn't value it.
And I'll let you...
The last time I used that lantern, it sent me directly to hell.
I will let you try. Yeah, that you actually did good this time.
Jimmy is growing very fond of the tiny scrubber bot very rapidly because Jimmy is a strange person surrounded by semi-sentient items. He just describes sentience to random stuff kind of freely.
You have a whole menagerie.
I
riding
got
around with
so
you.
many mostly living objects near me. I just say, yeah, this is basically a living creature. I speak to it like it's a person.
Yeah.
A sword, a parrot, a pocket watch, a hat.
Yes. So of anybody in the party, Jimmy was the most willing to say, this cylinder is alive.
Fudo. Oh. Yeah.
Food dog.
I will say, like, you can try. It really won't be able to see an effect, like, physically.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that was gonna work, but
But I'll keep it in mind, and we'll see if it plays a role further down. It's an interesting concept. But yeah, so crisis averted. You're standing on this precipice still.
Should we, before we go too much further,
Uh-huh.
take our union break? It's 11.
We can. Would you like to?
I could use a drink.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
In that case, ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
Stay tuned.
And we're back. Alright. So, here we are. On the precipice. A confused bot in a bubble. And more of them everywhere. A large, very wide shaft that goes to perpetuity up and down. With more precipices visible all along the surface of it.
Yeah. At this point,
Sound can make it through the sphere, right? Guess I don't know for sure. It says no energy, but like...
That would
count.
technically be energy.
Yeah. Does vibration count?
They can still breathe, I know that, so... Oxygen can make it through, apparently. Or they could just, have enough air for a minute, so... We'll say you can talk, that's fine.
Sure. I address it once more in Sylvan. Hey, how you doing in there? Hopefully that saved your life. It's supposed to, but the thing's a little screwy sometimes.
It continues to just look confused.
remember, Jimmy, it only accepts commands.
I know, but I like to think that it can understand other things. It just doesn't bother responding if it's not a command.
A fair assumption.
If you don't mind, if you're up for it, can you keep leading us to the reactor? I'm pretty sure you won't explode now, and you don't worry about the whole sphere thing. I don't think it hurts, and it'll probably go away after a minute.
I'm trying to think if that constitutes as a command. It's very polite.
It was a question. So,
Yeah.
Bryn will follow up after Jimmy. Lead us to the reactor through maintenance tunnels that we can all fit through.
Okay. So with that, the arm extends from its chest and moves towards a small port in the floor, but it can't seem to make the connection.
Oh, the sphere is too big. Monk.
Ratt, can you drop the sphere, perchance?
Yeah, okay, fine.
I'm picturing a person trying to insert a USB drive through one of those big hamster balls.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So you drop the sphere.
Yeah, okay.
It explodes. No, I'm joking. It plugs in. It plugs in, and the precipice that you're standing on lurches, and then starts sliding downwards. The lurch kind of catches you off guard. There are no handrails.
Okay, alright. Oh, we move.
It's almost like some evil galactic empire designed this. Oh, we lost this too. And she's
Hey.
back. There we go.
Welcome back.
But yeah, it begins to slide down the side.
You are still muted if you're trying to say things, and that's why you cycled Discord. I don't know.
All good. We're just glad you're here. But yeah, it begins to slide down. It's very slow.
Well, at least we're moving. I suppose I prefer it to being fast, and Jimmy's just gonna sit cross-legged on the floor.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything specific? No.
What?
Anybody doing anything else specific while you ride this down?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
No, just staying alert.
This ride is going to take about an hour.
Bryn will sit and rest.
Okay. So about an hour passes.
Everyone gets some stuff back.
Yeah. Is that a short rest, I think, technically?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
That'll work. Yeah, you've earned it for sure. And it'll settle. Once again, it'll lurch slightly and stop. and you'll see one of those aperture-style doors kind of spiral open into a small rectangular chamber, about 10 by 15. Inside this room, you see several small round pedestals with larger versions of the scrubber on it. They're not moving or anything, and on the opposite wall is a storage compartment of some sort. The front of it is clear. It's empty aside from one strange looking rod or staff. You're not really sure. It's I don't know, something in there.
So we've got 5 of the ruling lords of the scrubber bots on their little pedestals doing their thing.
Possibly.
And one door into a storage compartment, and that's it. That's all we got.
Well, no, the storage compartment's like a cabinet on the wall. There's an opening on the far end of the room. Sorry.
Okay. Is the scrubber that we're following going anywhere?
Just moving straight forward.
All right. I'll shine the torch into the cabinet as I pass, out of curiosity.
Okay. You looking at the item that's in there?
Yeah, just curious.
It appears to be a long item. It's maybe about 3 feet long. Has a handle, much like a crossbow, kind of like your blaster pistol. But this also has a buttstock and is much longer.
Rat, doesn't that look a little bit like that thing you got?
Kinda. A bit cruder. More
A bit bigger.
rudimentary. What? Nothing's bigger.
The one you looted off the ground is like, you know, under a foot. That one's fully 3. It looks like you got to put it up against your shoulder.
Let me see. What? Where?
I point at the cabinet.
You can see it. The whole front of it appears to be glass or something similar.
What?
What are you doing?
Trying to figure a way to get it out of behind the glass.
Alright, well, it does have a hinge on it. It looks like you could open it.
Oh, well, that sounds easy. Try to open the glass. To see what comes out.
Alright. You open the glass, and as you do, a klaxon goes off,
Oops.
and red lights begin to pulse throughout the room,
Oh no.
and the 5 larger scrubber-looking creatures lift up off their pedestals.
Close the glass door.
They stop moving.
Cool.
We're gonna
So
have
nice
to do
piece you
without
got
that
there.
one.
Just wanted to take a look as a fellow inventor. Good
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. It'd be nice and all, but we do not have time to get into a scuffle with, these boys.
Alright, they move back onto their pedestals.
Well, at least closing the door satiates them again.
So are you gonna leave it and carry on, or?
Jimmy's willing to let it go. We're really deadly.
That works. Alright, so carrying
A
on.
bit of a hurry.
pretend to carry on.
Oh. Rat's curiosity's getting the best of him. What do you want to do?
Jimmy kind of like distract him a bit.
I don't know that these things distract super easy, man.
Okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna go stand over there. You guys, like, funnel on the. And I'm gonna walk away.
Rat, we're maintaining good diplomatic relations down here so far.
We are doing that, and I'm going to vortex warp the thing behind the glass over to me, 90 feet away from them. Hope they don't notice.
He's strong.
Whoop.
Let's see. Constitution saving throw. Let me try something here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to bypass the enchantments on the glass, and
Nice.
it appears in your hands. No alarms, no lights.
Cool. Wink at Jimmy.
I gotta admit, if I was still in the business, I would want you as my second story, man.
All right. Let me see here real quick. We're gonna do this. It has 154 charges. And that's important. Please keep track of that. It is a two-handed weapon. It weighs 6 pounds and does 3d8 radiant damage.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
But it does take a round to cycle, so it can only be fired every other round. It does have
Rat is going to return to the outside world with the knowledge of gun.
It does have a long range of 360 feet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty potent little item. But yeah, so carrying on, I take it.
Cool. I'm going to animate the fuck out of that.
All right. Moving.
Cool.
Moving through.
What do I call it?
It is a laser rifle.
Cool.
We'll just keep it basic and simple.
Yeah, we keep on going. Rat has his prize. We've not been triggering any alarms.
So far, so good.
Life's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So you come up on another vertical shift. The pipe goes to another elbow junction and goes straight down. It gets very tight once again. Draken, you're having to squeeze in to shimmy down. It's actually pretty tight.
It's honestly a help when you're going down. Makes it easier to maintain your, stability as you crawl.
Yeah, he's just kind of wiggling and sticking to the sides as he goes.
If it's really bad, I will turn back into a gecko
Okay.
and burn the small slot.
All right. Rat, are you still hovering?
Yes.
Okay. And Jimmy shimmying.
Shimmy.
Bryn shimmying.
Roguelike business.
Shimmying.
Okay. Is two, are you shimmying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. On we go.
You love to see numbers.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, is too.
Yes.
So, the pipe you're in begins to shift from a vertical to a slight angle, and it's at a gradual curve. As it begins to curve, you notice that the pipe seems to show some signs of wear and tear, a little damage through here. Nothing too terrible. However, as you get to, once again, right around 45 degree angle coming in, everyone kind of scoots through, no problem, until it gets to Istu. Istu,
Yes.
the floor under you gives out.
Ah!
I need you to give me a disadvantaged dex save, please.
Am I allowed a reaction at all?
Well, it's basically a trap. If you have some ability that gives you reactions to traps.
Dex. Just.
Okay.
Bye.
So Istu, you slide into a very tight tube that is completely coated with some type of very slick fluid that's green and smells horrible. And you are sliding at an incredible rate of speed. I want you to roll a d4, and before you roll it, 1 and 2, your arms are up. 3 and 4, your arms are trapped at your side. It's a tight tube. I'm not sure which of those would be worse for you, but
Question.
what you got?
I have a spell that's purely verbal. Misty Step. Doesn't require my hand movements or somatic components, and I could get out of here if I could say it.
If you can see your point of where you want to be.
That I can see. Great.
They do have dark vision.
Yep.
There's a chance. The tube you're in is arcing quickly, so
Dimension Door is also verbal, has a range of 500 feet, and is restricted only by a space that I can visualize or describe.
yeah. Well, things are about to happen very quickly.
It's a verbal spell.
Yeah, no, I mean things are about to happen very quickly.
I
So,
want to get
like-
out of here. I don't want to waste time with the hands up down thing. I just want to get out of here.
Well, go ahead roll for me, just in case. This may apply to other things.
D4, you said?
Please.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So your hands are trapped at your side, effectively kind of pinning you in. So, you guys hear the I don't know what sound Istu would make actually.
That's the most Istu noise I've ever heard. Let's go with it. I don't mind it. It's squishy. I'm sort of a Yonzi. I'm gross anyway, right?
So
More snaky than.
here's what's about to happen, Istu, and these next decisions and rolls are very important.
Mm-hmm.
The tube you're in, about 10 feet, 15 feet down. Remember, you're greased, so you're sliding really fast.
Yep.
It splits right in the middle into a Y that goes down straight on either side. So if you don't stop or get out, you're gonna hit that edge and
Ow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I know you've got your spells prepped, you've already discussed like what you want to try and do. Misty Step if you can see, Dimension Door if you can't, right?
Yes.
I want you to give me one more dex save, no advantage or disadvantage, to try and get your spell off in time, because this is very quick. Technically, you should already hit, but I want to give you a chance. Because you did have that prepped and ready. You were like, this is what I want to do.
And this is Dex, you said?
Dex. Just a dex save.
Okay. Well. Let's see here.
Everybody's holding their breath.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
You got this. You got this.
You know, I really often wish that I hadn't removed the text of Convergent Future so I could read what that's supposed to do. But yeah, we'll...
You got this. You got this.
3, yep.
Oh, well. Was that
No.
your save? That's not a save, though.
That's a check?
Yeah, we want to save.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a chance to roll again. I'm so nice. Oh, okay. Very quickly, what spell are you casting?
Dimension Door.
Okay. Where are you casting it?
To get to the front of the line, in front of Ratt, if we're still in the same progression.
Where are you casting the entry point?
The entry point is in front of me.
In front of you or below you?
You have to step through the door, right?
Yeah.
I would put it at about 10 to 15 feet. Like right in front of wherever that thing is that's gonna hit me. Like right.
Okay.
As I would fall through it. Like
Okay.
I'm going down, right? So
Yeah.
it would,
Very quickly. So yeah, you hurtle down this chute, greased up, covered with this green ooze, and you're Istu, and they are by design fairly calm in crisis moments. They look down, they see death coming in a very horrible way, and manage in the midst of all that to get the dimension door off in time, just in the nick of time, just enough for your imagination to take over of what would have happened had you not pulled that off, as you plop out in front of Ratt covered in green, nasty ooze.
hi.
So,
Whoa. Ew. You're
How did you do? What did you do?
you're
Why did you
covered
do?
in. Why are you?
Reynolds
oozing
throw a
for
prestidigitation Istu's way.
Do you need a hand?
so
Why is it in my nose? You are Clen. Bryn is giving you a Clen.
well, the prestidigitation doesn't work.
Really?
No.
Hmm.
In fact, Istu, you're starting to burn all over.
Gods, why didn't that work?
Yeah, we got to do something about that.
Starting to burn all over.
So I've got a cloak. I would like to remove the cloak and begin wiping the gunk off of Istu. What
Alright.
even is this?
I don't know.
So, Istu, you've taken 7 points of damage so far.
Can I get this off of me? Like,
They are starting to, like, smoke. It looks like smoke or steam is starting to come off of them. You're starting to wipe, Jimmy. You're having to reach past Ratt to do this, and it's kind of tight. You're not really doing anything very effective, and in fact, it's starting to eat away at your cloak.
Oh, that's bad. Rat, can you scooch a little bit? Get to the other
Yeah.
side?
Yeah. I'm kind of like get out of the way.
Okay, it's very tight.
You do what you can.
Your dispel magic didn't do anything, is to.
A fly.
I didn't.
Above and
Did I cast
past the
that?
situation.
Oh.
Oh, well, if you didn't mean to, that's fine.
Yeah,
What-
I think that
Yeah,
was Istu trying to put the text of Dimension Door.
That one. That would be better. Yes. Okay. So I had to choose to bring this with me through the dimension door because I can't select not to do that. Okay. Gross. I really wish I had something to clean this off of me. Wow, like some water. Can I mage hand to like start trying to clean this off? It's not gonna help me. It's not helpful. What is this?
Some sort of acid, it would seem. Can I identify it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let you try a survival roll. If you want to try and identify it.
I continue to manage it with the cloak even as the cloak disintegrates. It's not the first time I have lost a piece of clothing doing this sort of thing.
Yeah,
Really
you're not
know
sure what it
that would
is.
be. That's not anything I've really run into before.
So it continues to burn and burn. The mage hand isn't working. The damage is getting worse. It's a
Is
4
it-
points.
What is it? What is it? What skin is it? Is it contacting specifically?
Well, that's actually what I was about to get to. What you're wearing, is it magical?
Yes.
Okay. All of it?
Yes.
Belts, buckles, shoes.
Yes.
It's all magical.
It's a power suit.
Oh, did Istu put on one of the environmental suits also?
What? No, she's talking about this.
Oh,
suit
that power
Mhm.
suit.
The-
That other definition of power suit. This is very important.
So
Yes.
if none of your I think your hands are still uncovered, right?
and then,
Let
well,
me figure out where the
wearing-
model is.
Yeah.
wearing that excellent arcane focus wand, kind of that looks like a snake that goes from their fingertip to their shoulder.
Basically, any skin you have is burning. Your face, your head, neck.
Probably, yeah.
So that's where the damage is coming from. Luckily, your power suit seems to be slowing. Otherwise, you would be pretty much buff right now. Like you saw how quick it went through the cloak, right?
How do I get this off of me?
Oh, the cloak is also magic.
Oh, is it?
Cloak of Billowing.
Oh, well, there you go. In that case, it would slow that down as well. Cloak of billowing.
What do I?
The smallest amount of magic always helps.
It does. It is still burning, though, and it will eventually eat through your power suit. Just FYI.
How do I get this off of me?
One sec. Hey, scrubber buddy.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, they clean.
The,
Hi.
the scrubber is 15 feet away and, like, keeping its distance.
Can I try to take the bag of sand out of my inventory and put it on this goop and see what happens?
You're welcome to.
We're just trying shit in this dojo. We don't know what to do.
Got that World War I chemical treatment. Rub some sand on
Rub
it.
some sand in.
I have
Fine.
no idea. I don't know what to do here.
It absorbs the sand.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anybody else want to try anything before I roll damage again?
so that's 7 and then like what?
4. 4 was the second one.
Yes,
Okay.
I would like to try a thing.
What's your thing?
Istu?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me when I'm burning for acid damage. What do you mean?
Alright, I would like to aim this, like, so that it kind of me is to a wall instead of like onto there's a wall behind Istu.
Well, no, it's a tube behind. You mean the side panel, the wall, basically?
I'm aiming this so that there is a wall directly behind Istu.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have a thing, and it does shit, what's it called?
Couldn't tell you, man. You got so many abilities.
I know. I got a toy for this. No, I don't think that was gonna work.
This isn't poison damage, is it?
No. Anything?
He's checking a very long inventory sheet.
I am checking over here. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would work, but I could try like a wind wall.
You try and blow it off.
Try to blow it off.
Okay.
Really, really forcefully.
Okay.
I guess instead of like focusing the wind wall into like its distinct wall chunks, I just blast them all at Istu.
Okay.
Like if normally it'd be like spray foam insulation to set up like a wind wall kind of thing, because I'm an artificer, not a sorcerer. And it's just kind of like a fire extinguisher kind of wind wall thing.
So
I don't know if that would work.
let me see if this launches Istu.
Into the wall
Yeah.
that I'm trying to blow the goo onto.
You know, I'm gonna be nice. I'm just gonna say that it won't. It won't. It was a really good idea. It's very creative.
Please, I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't. It's for your own good.
You want to make a strength save Istu?
Why do you say these words to me?
Because I love you.
Can you roll a 21 with your strength?
Make a strength save. He says.
Would you
Can I
like
roll
to?
it with my brain?
No.
Is it possible?
No.
Well then.
You got this. Not quite. So, since it was attempted to be controlled, we'll just do half damage on that, okay?
Clearly.
and we'll round in your favor. So just 9 points.
Oh my god.
And then, of course, the 16 from the acid damage. I'm sorry. Would anyone like to try anything? S2 is melting before your eyes.
It didn't get the acid off?
No.
Draken's got some stuff.
I would like to
Counter
try
acid.
something, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first I'm going to turn back. Again, back to Draken. And then I would like to try to use telekinesis and basically scrape down.
Scrape
Literally.
the ooze off.
Exactly.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be very kind. I'm gonna let this work. That's a creative use of telekinesis. It probably shouldn't work, but I'm gonna let it. Um, we're gonna do one more round of damage while he scrapes this off. So another 11 damage from the acid. It hits the ground and the spatters all over the place, where it immediately begins to eat away at the metal. Do you have any type of AC bonus from your power suit?
Yes.
It's 1 worse. It just because of the damage. You do have an artificer in the group, so that's something that could potentially be prepared or repaired.
Oh, you know I'm fixing the drip.
Yeah.
I will say, though, where the ooze hits the ground and the spatters in the wall, you see it beginning to form back together slowly on its own into a singular puddle.
I know
I
what
would
that
like-
looks like, and I don't want to stick around.
I would like to shove it towards the hole.
Go back
Using
in
the
your hole.
telekinesis and just be like, you go back down there now.
Okay. I'll let that go. I'll let that go. That'll work.
Push and pat. Pat down.
Stuff it down. Okay. Yeah, you have it for up to 10 minutes. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, you managed to get it back into the hole and shove it down. Istu, you're singed and burned. You're smoking still. Your lovely power suit looks tattered and kind of dulled and faded. Your hair is singed and you don't feel good. It's been a bad day.
Saren, you were not lying. They have some real shit down here.
I tried to tell you.
I'm gonna see what things I have to not have to go through that again. We're gonna avoid that. I can't fly, so
Poor Istu.
yeah,
I knew
we're gonna grab Cinder's arm, right?
Okay. Well, you're in the. Keep in mind, you're in the front of the group now.
Okay.
That's where you
Even more risk.
teleported to.
Lovely. Love that from me. Okay. I guess I stay up here then.
Hey, you were in the back before, and look where that got you.
Yep. The tensile strength of this metal is probably not really great, so we
Not anymore, no.
Yep.
So, are we carrying on?
Yeah, I guess we're carrying on now.
What else is there to do? There's dangerous stuff down here. We're handling it.
For the time being, until it runs out, I am completely encasing myself with a telekinetic, and using it to lift me and carry me.
Okay.
I am flying by telekinesis
Hovering.
/ barriers.
Right.
Before he drops the telekinesis, I say, hey, can you get the goop off the cloak, too?
That's fair. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Hey, now I got a matching set.
Your gloves and your cloak. So, carrying on. We'll say that once again, you get past this horrific moment as it kind of levels out a little bit, and once again you come into another chamber, another spherical chamber. They seem to like those.
I just want to live here now. I'm in such pain. Ow! Just leave me here. Let me die.
So, do you still have your light going?
I got the flashlight on, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have the light spell as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So, once again, the bot kind of comes down and slides down the curvature of the room into the center. And as you come out one by one, to your horror, You look around and realize that while there are several exits from this spherical chamber, hung up all over the room are humanoid-shaped skins pinned to the wall to dry.
Again, it's pretty suspicious. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a
And I
strange
feel like-
hobby, I'll admit, but
Saren, is there any way you can check the map that leads to the reactor and see if we're still going the correct way?
She looks around. You can tell she's a little shook up by the scene in this room. Eyes wide, kind of pale a little bit, lips thin. She shakes her head as you speak to her, kind of draws back into her head and looks down at her wrist and taps it. And you just see a little spark. And she holds it up and shows you that the whole thing is just shattered. Probably from her fall.
That is a damn shame. That thing was so impressive.
Wait. Can we mend it? Like, mending?
No. No, it's one thing to mend a rope or a cloak, but complicated circuitry and electronics, a whole different matter.
Bryn rubs her rubs her temples and say, "Oh, I guess that's one more thing for Ratt to look at later, if he can."
Meanwhile, in the backs of your heads, all you can think of is, how did we get here again?
Listen, there is one way forward. It requires operating on a little bit of faith. Also, the sure knowledge that we are the deadliest thing on the ship apart from maybe the reactor.
And maybe whatever put these skins on the wall.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to put some skins on the wall, let me tell you, there would be some skins on the wall.
This is true. This is true.
They can put a skin on a wall, but can they put a Rakshasa soul in a lantern? I don't think so.
No, that was the combined effort of Bryn, Jimmy, and Draken.
Yes.
Yeah. When, to be fair, you don't see any of those hanging on the wall.
If there was, Jimmy would be a little more disconcerted.
Yeah, that might be in the next room.
Should we call it there? We're coming up on midnight, and that's a fun image.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can definitely wrap up there as you exit into this strange room with skins pinned to the wall, to your horror, and then realize that your map is gone. Dun dun dun. Tune in
Dun, dun,
next time. Definitely tune in next time. So, I hope this was entertaining. Labyrinthine exploration in tabletop is it's a challenge for a game master to keep interesting without just constantly throwing fights at you or something.
I thought we had a good variety of interesting things.
Wow, good.
It's a pleasure to hear from Scratch again.
Yeah. Been
How
Pleasure.
in the hell did he get any influence in here? I do not know. They don't even have the ethereal plane here.
That's true.
Unless he followed us here.
Good old Scratch.
Is he on the ship? Maybe, or at least a representative of his. We suspected that from the jump, but
Final boss fight.
yeah. If he came in on the ship, he is just as screwed as we are.
Yeah. But no, I hope you guys had fun. I had a good time with this. You got a fun new weapon. You had some interesting encounters. Poor Istu had a rough time of it. But survived. That was a narrow save there with the Dimension Door. That was still good.
Yeah.
Keep in mind next week we're back in Cairn. We return to the spirit realm and see how more wacky and wonky that can get.
Yeah, we fight the worst spirit we've ever seen in our life.
Potentially, yes.
God.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be fun to pick back up on. Wednesday, we're back at it with Weird West Deadlands. That's picking back up. We had our first session. I think we're back this Wednesday. I think we might be missing this one. I can't remember. There's one we're about to miss for 1 week, but then we're right back at it. So don't miss that. Chance and I have been doing some Diablo streams on Fridays. If you're into that, it's pretty funny because we're a bunch of nerds and goofballs. So that's entertaining. And of course, we have our Thursday night one-shots. Kids on Bikes, don't want to miss that. You got 1 or 2 more days to sign up for the Gamma World one-shot next month. We've got 4 people in there now. I won't do more than 6. That should be fun. I've been working on that. It should be nice and entertaining. The Melody of Mayhem. Be sure to join our Discord. Stay in the loop. We've got loads more games coming up, loads more events, loads more fun things. We got plans to do movie nights. We got plans to do Discord games, game nights for open to the community, as well as some charity events coming up in the future, and the chance to win fantastic cash and prizes. So definitely stay tuned. I believe, now don't quote me on this, but we may be able to raid now. It turns out we were just too young. That's why we were having problems. So we're going to try one more time, I think. Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to try. So thank you guys for joining us. Those of you who played, those of you who stayed, and those of you who will see us later. We'll hope to see you again soon. See you in Discord. See you on the stream. Stay tuned.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.